So we're taking a look at the final figure in the newest wave of Hasbro 6-inch Star Wars The Black Series figures. This is the Death Watch Mandalorian from the Mandalorian TV show on Disney+. Now, if you've been keeping up, I have reviewed everybody within this wave, such as Omega, Echo, Ahsoka, and the Client. So now, the final, last but not least, remaining character, we have the Death Watch Mando, which is a army builder. So good news, he does come packed in 2 per case, so that is very good. And this is the Death Watch Mandalorian from the flashback scenes of Din Djarin from the first season of The Mandalorian. Here's the side image art. That same image is on the back side along with a read-up that reads, an extremist clan that attempted to take over Mandalore during the Clone Wars. The Death Watch Mandalorians are tenacious warriors embracing the ancient traditions of their people. So some may argue that that scene was so small and short, even though it happened multiple times, that it's a little surprising that we got an action figure out of it. But hey, this is not the first company that has done it. Hot Toys actually made a Death Watch trooper as well. We all like to army build, and we all know Death Watch comes from the Clone Wars, so this is a perfect way to army build, whether or not you're going to use it for Clone Wars display or use it for Mandalorian display. All I know is that this figure is really good. It's actually fantastic. It feels great, it articulates really good, and it just looks really good too. There's just something about Mandalorian figures that every company just goes all out with, and they always make them very well, such as SH Figuarts, and here in this case Hasbro. So this figure comes with a few accessories. He has a jetpack, of course. Every Mandalorian has one of these, or at least most of them do. This one's blue and silver. Then we get his long rifle weapon. This is just all black, it's not painted anywhere, unfortunately. There's no wash or anything. And then we get a blaster pistol here that does have a brown grip on the handle there, and that's it. So as for the Death Watch Mando himself, here is his head sculpt, which looks like your traditional Mandalorian. I'm not sure if this is like a Boba Fett helmet that they repainted, but it doesn't have a dent, so I would assume it's a new sculpt. The torso has some nice paint detail here with some silver paint to kind of simulate some battle damage. We got a lot of nice sculpting for the undergarment of the armor, and then we have some paint on that buckle there, got some paint on the shoulder pauldron, as well as that torso armor, and the forearm there, got some silver there. There's the thigh and knees down to the boots, and here's the back side. Of course, we get the peg holes to plug in our jetpack here, which pegs in like that. And then also we do get a little holster here for his blaster pistol in case you don't want him to grip it in his hand. Actually, you might want to take off the jetpack first since it kind of gets in the way there. And there you have it. So pretty good. And then we'll go ahead and snap the jetpack back in, and we're all good to go there. As far as the long weapon, you're just going to have him hold it. He does have a trigger finger on the right hand only. I took a peek at the left hand, and no, this is just a gripping hand, so only the right hand. So here's a quick look at him with the long rifle in his hand. He grips it just fine. And then here's just another quick pose with that long rifle. Alright, and one more here. Just try to get him aiming down the sight or aiming down his gun. Pretty cool. I like it, and what makes this very possible is the head articulation on this guy is fantastic. It's wonderful. It's actually really nice because I just finished reviewing the Ahsoka figure, and that one had very, very minimal head articulation because of her head tails or whatever those things are on her head prevented her from moving, and this thing just moves like crazy. I love the head articulation on this guy. So his head sits on a ball jointed peg. It has a separate neck joint there as well. So it's pretty nice. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, you can get some nice deep head tilting here, left and right, no problem. Up and down, pretty much no problem there. So head movement is on point, very, very nice. Arms are going to go all the way forward and down. We get a pliable, soft pauldron for both sides, so that doesn't hinder anything. Arms are going to go all the way out. They go back down. No bicep swivel though. There's no butterfly joints. We only have single jointed elbows. They bend at a 90-degree bend. They swivel. There goes the gun. But we get a side hinge for the right hand and then a regular hinge for the left hand there. The diaphragm joint at the torso goes all the way around, it goes back, it goes forward, tilts left and right, and swivels. Leg's going to kick forward about this far to go back down, in and out. Thigh swivels, single jointed knees that swivel. Then we get an ankle hinge and then the ankle rocker at the foot. Alright, so the first thing I wanted to do was get the Mandalorian Loyalist Walmart exclusive out here. This was, I guess, technically our Death Watch figure for the time being up until now. It wasn't labeled Death Watch, it was just labeled Loyalist, but it pretty much looks like a Death Watch Mandalorian, so that's what we use. I army built only 4 of these guys. I didn't go too crazy, but I'm glad I didn't go too crazy because it definitely doesn't look as good as this brand new Death Watch Mando right here. Of course, this is based off of the actual Death Watch that appeared in the flashback scenes of the live action TV series, so that's why it looks drastically different than the animated version of this Mandalorian Loyalist here on the left side. In terms of height, you can see he's slightly taller here on the right side, a little bit bigger proportionally at some areas. The helmet seems like it's bigger, but then the torso on this one seems like it's a little bit thicker. Next here he is next to Din Djarin himself with Grogu in his arms, and you get a very good look at the differences in armor. And then the scale, it's about the same height, nothing too drastically different here. Also, I forgot to show it, but it does have that little range finder that does move forward and back on his helmet. Sorry I missed that. Next here we have the Ahsoka from this very same wave from the Mandalorian TV show as well. And that's how she stacks up next to a Death Watch trooper. Alright y'all, that's going to do it for this review of the Star Wars The Black Series 6-inch scale Death Watch Trooper from The Mandalorian. For some reason, this figure ended up being the sleeper figure of the wave for me. A little bit surprising, I know. It's a Mandalorian army builder, and normally it's not considered a sleeper, but I was just more excited for Omega, Echo, and live-action Ahsoka that I kind of didn't really pay attention to this guy, and he ended up being one of my favorites for sure. I'm quite curious to know how many you guys plan to army build. I think I'm going to stick to maybe 2 or 4. I don't like odd numbers, so I think I'll do 2 or 4. We'll see how it goes, if I can find any more or not. But definitely not just 1. I think you at least got to get 2 at a minimum. So hopefully they make an appearance again, and then we can kind of utilize these a little bit more. But as of right now, we can only really use them as a flashback scene to make sense. You know, we can compare him next to Din Djarin in his Mandalorian armor, but that wouldn't make sense because, I don't know, these guys appeared when he was a child and he wasn't a Mandalorian yet. So, but either way, you could still use them for Clone Wars displays as they were pretty prominent in the Clone Wars era of Star Wars. So hit that like button down below. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section and subscribe if you haven't done so already. As always, everyone, take care, take it easy, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.